Hello guys, Danny here at Partey. So just wanted to show you a couple of things today. So I've got a few different panels here, and what we'll be focusing on is everything, say, from here over. So this is the Gobbity Goop Sirius panel. This is a derivative of that, which is a darker gray, not quite a black, just a very dark gray. This is the black chalk paint. Now, two different pieces here. That's the original black chalk paint. It doesn't look black. That's because it's more of a brush kind of black, with chalk, with very chalky texture. This is the same paint, but what I did is I went over this piece here with some satin polyurethane. Okay, so you can see the difference there, because I want to show also, about polyurethane coatings, which is something I'll discuss whenever I talk about the paint mix. And everything looks a little brighter in here, but you can see that's because I've got all of the light on in the room. That's the full 7200 lumens. This is a white panel, just a piece of Coroplast. See if I can get the sheen on there. I don't think so. It's got a little bit of a sheen. It's not high gloss, but it's somewhere between a satin and a semi-gloss kind of sheen. So I'm roughly estimating about a 1, let's go 1.1 on the low end. It may be as high as a 1.2, but probably more like a 1.1 gain. So just to give you, that will be our gamut. You got two chalk paints, one with a poly coating, black Gobbity Goop Sirius, and this is a dark gray, don't have a name, probably not even going to, I just did it specifically for this so we could show a dark gray panel with that as well. And then this is just going to be a white piece of Coroplast 1.1. So you can see them all. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to start, now this isn't in the dark. As you can see, there's light coming through in there that's coming through the front door, bouncing off. So, and I say that not about these, but for the consideration of the white panel. The white panel's not going to, perform as optimally as it would if it was pitch dark in this room. Now, this light is actually behind it, but I'll turn that off just to decrease any amount of, usually you can see there's still light coming through in here, but I'll try to decrease the light as much as I can. All right. So let me get my controller. Sorry, guys. And we'll take a look. So, as you can see, I'm going to move in here, let my dog get out in front of us. There's the results just right off the bat. So, what do you take in from this? What does this mean? Well, let's start with the white. So on the white Coroplast, you can see very bright, very vivid colors, but the problem is that your black levels start to fail out with even the smallest amount of light. That's always been the case with white screens. And, I'm starting from this because I want people to understand we started down this path, and I say we, everyone started down this path that has pursued something beyond a white screen for that very reason right there. Okay, if a white screen did it in every situation with any kind of light in the room, no one would have ever moved beyond a white screen. Now you can see the gray screen there holds very nice contrast. The black screen is pretty much on par with the gray. As a matter of fact, you'll see that more so whenever I go into some other display or demonstration pieces here. Let me see if I can go ahead and find us something so we can look at something somewhat bright and vivid here. Now I'm setting currently in eco mode, and I'll show you that too. Just want to make sure that folks have that understanding. All right, and I'm going to put something on and then just pause it for us here real quick. All right. There we go. So we just get us an image. Now you can see the white image is very bright. You can see that the black and the dark gray, very bright and vivid. And then we see these two chalky ones over here. You notice how dark they look by comparison. Now, look at those with the white. You notice very little difference other than your contrast levels hold up. And then we get to this guy over here, and it's really dark, okay? So I've mentioned before that you'll see displays out there where it doesn't show the true nature of what the screen looks like. And I'll give you an example here. So I'm going to modify some settings. So guys, what I started with was all in auto. So I am now going to start modifying some settings, and I want to show you what happens. So if I go in here, set my settings, start making some modifications, it'll start to show in just a moment, so forgive me. All right, so there we go, guys. So as you see, everything starts to change now. I'm going to pull back, and that looks kind of commonplace to what you start to see. Now I can even go in and do even more. So when you see those displays, you see how everything switched over here. The white you can barely make out now. Looks like it's totally diluted, totally washed out. All of my red is gone in the center panels. They're all yellow now. But look how great these look. And it's funny because I'm looking at them here face to face, and they're still as dark as they ever were. But it's funny how they look beautiful compared to that now. I can keep everything in the room looking somewhat normal. I mean, when you get over to these lights, that's when you start noticing like things glow, right? Things glow that shouldn't be glowing like that. I can even go back over here. Now you'll always have light that glows. So even if I go back to normal settings, it doesn't change the appearance of this too much. But look how much you can modify what that looks like. Now my ISO settings right now are setting at 6400. 6400. Which is really high. Really, really high. I can take it up even higher and look what we get there. But that's how people are using camera tricks to fool your eyes. And this is in real time, okay? When I say real time, like real recording time, this isn't any kind of post-production stuff. But I want to show you what it really looks like here. If I go back into auto, so I'm going to pause again. There we are, guys. See the difference? It's crazy just how much manipulation you can do on these videos like this. And see that this is normal. You can see it's dark in here, so I don't pick up the light on the walls as much as it was earlier. And you can see I still got glow, but it's not sort of an aura glow. It's just you see light around the outside edges. See my hand here in a dark room. Now I'm going to turn on the lights. We're going to look at it again. Okay. Hold on just a second. I'll have to pause again. So we lost our little berries, but that's okay. So you can still see. Now here is in normal light. Okay. Give you an indication with all the lights on. Full bore. Okay. And also to show you excuse me, eco. Okay. So I'm going to do it again. And so you can see the white's washing out. These are still holding their color. And this one's really dim. Okay. You can't make out much difference between the top and the bottom. The top is a little brighter, not much. Okay, so let's do it again. So I'm going to pause. Okay, so now I'm going to play a little bit with our settings here, and you can see how that white panel just really starts to disappear, and this one stands out. But you'll also notice you get that little haze that comes over the whole screen. You notice that? So this screen right now, to my eye, is still really, really dark. Okay, but in the camera, as I look at it here, it looks, much more vivid. Now, not as much as the Sirius, but a little more vivid than here. And this is gone, right? Completely gone. Now, I can even bring that down to like this, right? So you can tweak it till you can get, there we go. So it looks like sort of somewhat normal, but look how far gone that appears in the camera compared to this. Now, if you didn't have this screen and that screen there, and you were just looking at this by comparison, you'd go, well, see, look how well that stands up to light. But the problem is that it doesn't really look like this. And that haze is just an artifact from all the camera manipulation. And I can go here and I can look and see it looks the same from whatever angle. The reason it looks the same is because there's so much absorption happening. It's probably about a 0.6. So you're losing about 40% of your light. About 40% of your projector illumination is gone when it hits that screen because it's absorbing so much, right? But you can make it look like it's nice. So I'm going to go back out. Oops, sorry, forgot to adjust this setting. There we go. And that's what it really looks like. I mean, yes, the white is washed out. It's most definitely washed out. I think my shutter speed's off. Hold on just a second, guys. Yeah, my shutter speed is off, a little off the rails. Hold on. All right. That's one of the reasons I don't like messing with this stuff. Okay, you can see it now because any little thing that you do to manipulate, people can pick up on. That's why I don't mess with that. I just leave everything in auto and stop trying. There was a time whenever I tried to make my videos represent what I'm seeing with my eye much more accurately. The problem is that once you start down that path, I just think it's a squirrely road. But you can see just how dark. Now, granted, this is with 3,000 lumens. I could put it into bright mode. Let's brighten things up a bit. And there we go. So you can see sort of the difference. You'll see it kind of pop in and pop out. And I'm sure that, even with a 4,300 lumen projector, whenever you're putting something in bright mode, it's going to have a little bit of a pop. Just because you've got 4,300 lumens. Even with all the absorption, but it is not anything near what you would look to get from, say, a high-end manufactured screen. I mean, it's just some dark paint is all it is. There's nothing, no reflective solids or anything in that. And here's the thing: you can add reflective solids. You can add some silver metallic paint into these. You lose some of your darkness. Because anytime that you add that silver in there, it takes a lot of color to overcome silver. Just does, guys. So you could add just a few drops of silver or a few drops of silver to a black paint, just a few drops, and it will lighten the black paint up drastically. So you have to be careful with that. If you're using mica, the problem is that most of it you're never going to get to use. Only any of the flakes that landed on the surface or end up at the surface and aren't coated with any of the black particle. So, that's the reason I said you have to push a buttload of silver metallic into black to get it to the point to where it's going to give you a reflective image. And then you end up with blue push or, Your whites look more like bluish gray. And if you'll notice in these demonstrations, that's exactly what happens, is that the whites don't look like this white. They look more like this, the bluish gray. And you can see them side by side when he does side by side comparisons. So once again, just more information for you guys to have. Truth and projection. If you can't be truthful, then you're always going to be trying to outrun yourself. And you'll hear people back up and pedal on statements that they made that they would, this is how I feel, I'd never change my mind. And then you'll hear them later whenever they're not selling, they have to regroup back up and start going a different direction. And that's the one thing you really should never have to deal with. All right. You guys have a great day. And also, I wanted to let you guys know, I know I said Wednesday. I'm hoping, but it may be more Thursday or Friday. I've had some things that come up that I need to take care of, and kind of important things. So nothing drastic for those of you guys out there who are friends and supporters. Nothing really bad or anything like that. Just some workload stuff I've got to take care of that has nothing to do with Partey. So I need to take care of that stuff, and then I'll make sure that I upload the instructions on the paint mix. And I'm going to show you how to make the black as well as a darker gray. All right, you guys take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.